It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Dog. Thanks for being with me today on a Monday. You have caught me at the beginning of yet another week, and I am happy that you are here because I'm just here chilling and listening to some metal music, y'all. It's a Metal Monday, and I'm excited today to get to music from AC/DC for the first time on the channel. I am, of course, aware of this band. I have heard their music throughout the years, but I've never really paid much attention to these guys, and I just could not stay away from this band any longer. So I am happy that you are here. The song we're going to be looking at today is called Back in Black, one of their most iconic tunes. So Back in Black is the title track from their 7th album released in 1980. The band is from Sydney, Australia, and was formed in 1973 by Malcolm and Angus Young, who are Scottish by birth. And this particular song, Back in Black, and the album, I think, itself, pays tribute to Bon Scott, the band's lead singer who died in early 1980, as I read, of acute alcohol poisoning. And so the band had considered disbanding after Bon Scott passed away, but with the encouragement of their friends and of Bon's family, they carried on. They hired Brian Johnson as their new vocalist, and then this particular album, Back in Black, would be Brian's first with the band, and he is still with the band to this day. So let's take a look, y'all. We've got Brian Johnson on lead vocals, Angus Young is on lead guitar, Malcolm Young is on rhythm guitar and backing vocals, Cliff Williams is on the bass and backing vocals, and Phil Rudd is on the drums. And for our purposes today, I'm just going to be taking a look at the original studio recording right off the album. So let's take a look at Back in Black from AC/DC. Here we go. And of course I know this riff. How could you miss it, right? Do it with this hand instead of this hand, right? Just hit me, right? And listen to the vocal color from Brian, right? It's got all the color of sandpaper, but it's a perfect color for a heavy metal or a hard rock vocal, right? Just cuts through. So it's just a 3-chord riff, friends. E, down to D, down to A. Right? The main riff. And then that riff coming down. Hang on, I want to talk about that. That riff. No. We're in E, right? It starts on an E, goes to a D, goes to an A. They're power chords, which means they're open fifths. So they're really not giving us a whole lot of information in these power chords on that main riff of whether it's major or minor. But I believe that those chords are intended to sound major, right? That's how they'll naturally sound with those big open fifths. But the riff is based in blues, and so that riff starts on that minor third, and then it goes right back down to the E. So it starts, even though it implies almost E major, that riff, the very first note, starts on a G natural, which comes from E minor. So we've got a bluesy style riff over the top of that really powerful progression. Off we go. Go to the 5, that's the B, down to A, A, B, D, B, D, down to a G chord, to D, subtonic before it gets back to E. Angus is playing lead while Malcolm is playing rhythm. I mean, come on. It's absolutely iconic. I couldn't sing like that if I tried. Goes up a step. Or up a fourth. Back to 5. It's really just, I can't think of any other sound that I've heard like that with a vocal like that. And one of the things that makes this so iconic, I think, is the spaciousness that they give it. Right? It's on the beat, and then off, and then off. No. So everything's off the beat except for that very first one. And it allows for spaciousness for us just to feel the power of the music as it goes. Fun. Absolutely fun. Of course, the opening riff and the riff that goes through the song is iconic, right? But Brian was asked to write the lyrics to this as part of a celebration to Bon, and the band told him, it can't be morbid. It just has to, just be powerful. And so they ended up just riffing, and they came up with, they knew they wanted to call it Back in Black, and they had the riff. They just didn't have the rest of the lyrics and the rest of the tune, and so they worked on it until they got it. And so the lyrics ended up being presented from Bon's point of view. So when it says, I hit the sack, I've been too long, I'm glad to be back, I've let loose from the noose that's kept me hanging about, I'm just looking at the sky because it's getting me high, and so on and so on and so on. Well, I'm back in black. That's from Bon's point of view, and they're celebrating just the way that he lived, I believe. The line, forget the hearse because I'll never die. I got 9 lives, cat's eyes, abusing every one of them and running wild. And from what I read, that the band thought, well, if that doesn't sound like Bon, nothing does. So and off they go, and it's Brian's first time, with the band, and they continue cultivating a masterful and important career. This album came out in 1980. 80 was a banner year for metal and hard rock. We get Back in Black, we get Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath, we get Iron Maiden's debut album, we get Ace of Spades from Motorhead, Judas Priest, I think British Steel, The Blizzard of Oz from Ozzy Osbourne, and I think there are more that I'm forgetting, but there's a lot of real breakthrough heavy metal and hard rock right at the beginning of the 80s, and it sets the stage for what is to come, especially for these guys who now are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. As I end today, I found a fascinating kind of synopsis about this song from Metal Hammer, which is a metal magazine. In 2017, they wrote about this particular song. They said, there are rock songs that appeal to metal fans, and there are metal songs that appeal to rock fans, and then there's Back in Black. a rock and metal song that appeals to everybody, from dads to dudes to little old ladies beating noisy kids over the heads with their sticks. And it all hangs on that monumental, no-nonsense 3-chord monster of a riff. And I don't disagree with that. I am not historically a metal aficionado. Y'all know that. And I'm not really a rock aficionado either, but I can see where elements of this could be considered, it's just rock and roll, it's hard rock. Or, man, that's metal. Listen to that riff, and listen to the solo, and listen to the vocals and all that. And it's kind of this new era for this style of music. And I am kind of blown away by just the sheer power that these guys bring to their sound, and I think that I will continue to look at their music over the next coming weeks and months. But I think that is all for today. I am thankful to y'all for joining me on this Metal Monday featuring Back in Black from AC/DC. Great tune, great riff, and I'm happy that you have been here. Thanks, friends. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.